one thing I really love about this 2020 COVID situation is that I'm doing a lot of things remotely, obviously. And when I talk to sensitive people, right, whether it be my boss or a significant other, and it's on the computer or on the phone, I can multitask. And the reason I want to be multitasking is that I have a bad habit when a conversation goes silent. I assume bad things and I want to fill things in, and I assume the worst and I answer things assuming the worst, right? I actually have a boss that I have to go back to in the near future, and it's driving me nuts. How am I going to resolve this? My boss has a habit of not cutting to the chase. He wants to even give me a promotion, maybe, right? But he has a huge preamble leading up to giving me the promotion. He'll talk about anything and everything under the sun, and he talks really painfully slowly as well. And while he's doing that, my mind is racing a million miles a second, right? I'm thinking about, am I about to be fired? I'm thinking about, is there another wave of COVID and do we need to close again? I'm thinking, did I mess up? I'm thinking, did he catch me do something? Right? Maybe last Friday, I went to the bathroom to masturbate. Right? I used to have a huge addiction with masturbating, and I got caught. Right? Or maybe I surfed something online at the campus that I shouldn't have. Did I get caught doing that? Maybe I got caught accidentally taking some office supplies home. Maybe you get the idea. My mind will race, and before he can say he wants to give me the promotion, sometimes I blurt out like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry I did this," when he didn't even know it or he didn't care, or you get the idea, right? I used to have this problem when people would stop talking to me on Facebook, not necessarily maliciously, they just got busy, or and then I would apologize for everything that I ever did wrong to them, even if they didn't think it was wrong. They might have even liked what I did, or they didn't even notice, or something like that. And one thing I really love about chatting on Zoom is that when my boss goes on to these rampages of nonsense, I can just do something else, right? I open another window and I'm watching a YouTube video. I might even be recording a YouTube video on the side. Obviously, I'll mute out my mic when I do that, and I'll let him ramble. And now I'm not nervous anymore. And he finishes, I thank him for it, and that's that, right? He has a habit of rambling a lot about the weather, his family, sports, anything you can think of. He'll ramble, and it makes me nervous because I wonder, what is he leading up to? And I'll blurt out something wrong. Now the problem is, eventually I do have to go. Eventually, when we do find that cure for COVID, or we accept COVID for what it is, and I go back to the office, I won't be able to fidget with other things while he's rambling, and I'm getting really nervous about that. I'm thinking about having something that's kind of acceptable to fidget with. You know, obviously I can't be recording a YouTube video while he's rambling. I'm also thinking about practicing what I preach and cutting to the chase very directly with him every time I talk. And maybe suggesting that, can we keep our conversation short so I could actually do something else, right? Maybe I'll have to think about how to say that. But I gotta think about what what I can use to fidget. I do this way too much. I was just looking at old conversations that I had, even online, right? I was looking at some failures I've had using OkCupid, a dating website, right? And one of my big failures is that when there's a long enough pause, I apologize, I wonder what's going on, I jump to conclusions, and that's even when I can sit at home to actually fidget. You can imagine what it's like when I actually have to see that person face to face. Really bad habit. It makes me. I wish we had more training on. Let's just cut to the chase, right? That wasn't really part of our employee training. I mean, we had a lot of training about how to deal with all sorts of disabilities and religious issues and you name it, but we didn't talk about cutting to the chase and not wasting people's time and not generating a lot of anxiety with your coworkers, right? I think that ought to be a training for anybody who works in an office setting. I really do, just to avoid all this conflict, right? I had a situation one time where I responded to a gig offering on Craigslist. This guy was looking for a tutor, and I called I believe it was a 5th or 6th grade boy, and I called his mother. She picked up the phone, and I actually wanted to go to their home to kind of assess where she is, have a little consultation before I give the quote. But she insisted that I give a ballpark figure. I really didn't think that was necessary because I was going to head to their direction the next day anyhow. That was on my way to another appointment. I thought I'll just stop by and have like a 20-minute chat. But she was so insistent that I blurted out a number, and as soon as I blurted it out, I realized it was completely off, and I wasn't sure. Because I don't, a lot of times, I hate giving the price up front because there are so many variables when it comes to tutoring. Sometimes I give the number, and then all of a sudden the student, they can't meet at where they originally wanted. Now they have to meet at this library, and it's not nearly as convenient as going to their home, and the price was kind of based off their home. Okay, and now they're changing their schedule. You know, what used to be Wednesday afternoon, maybe they want to do it on a Sunday now. I don't like that deal as much because now instead of working 5 days a week, now I'm working that 6th day. And so that price doesn't really make sense to me anymore, right? Or things change, right? They used to come to my place, and now their car breaks down. Not only do I have to go to their home, but their home's going through renovations. I got to pick up their kid and take them to the library. I've had all sorts of bullshit like that. So I hate to give the number up front until I can see the whole picture. And see, that was over the phone, and even then I made a mistake. So you can imagine in real life person, it can be very panicky. You see, when I record these YouTube videos, I tend not to make these kind of mistakes, but that's because I can actually delete the video and re-record, right? I can't imagine what it would be like if I went to my boss's office and I messed up, and I go, hey boss, let me start over. Forget everything I said the last 5 minutes, right? When you guys watch me on YouTube, it's the equivalent of if I could do that with my boss, right? Obviously I can't. But at least during this COVID situation, I get to practice everything else, right? So the last piece of the puzzle is when I go back to the office to practice how to do all of this without the fidgeting behind the scenes, right? Thanks for watching.